Hello everyone and welcome to the How Good Are. Today we're going to talk about girls that should have had Spirit Enhancement for a really long time. And in fact, these girls that we're going to talk about today had a rerun of their event. There was a rerun for a Suzune event just before Spirit Enhancement launched. They were literally the last characters to get a rate up gacha before Spirit Enhancement launched. Look it up, it's true. And then the first characters that did have their event launch with Spirit Enhancement was the second Suzune event with Matsuri. So that's how the cookie crumbles. But we're gonna take a look at starting out today with Suzune Amano, who is an attack type with attack type growth, who has a lot of attack and has attack discs. Wait a second, she doesn't have attack discs, she has Excel discs? That's weird. I would have expected an attacker with this much attack to have blast discs, but no. Here we have an attacker with Excel, similar to Reina. Reina is also like that. Also, Reina might actually be Mega type. I don't know. I haven't looked at Reina for like 2 years or something. But we're gonna see something very special, and this is how I'm gonna lead into this character. We're gonna see something very special. She's a character who has Excel who is not all about Magia. She's not all about Magia. First of all, she has a personal, let's get it over with, 100% crit for 1 turn. Okay. If you get an early combo with her, an early Puella combo before you get to her Magia, because her Magia gives crit, if you get to her an early Excel combo, Puella combo with her, you don't have any other crit, you can use this, I guess, to do a bunch of damage. But probably you want to get something like an attack up or a damage up, something like that. Either Iroha or Yachiyo Flower Member gives either a bunch of attack up or a bunch of damage up for multiple turns in a row, and that is usually better than just 1 turn of a little bit more damage, but it kind of depends on RNG. Do you keep drawing their discs for the next turn? Or do you not draw the discs on the next few turns? Or do you get attacked? Because Yachiyo and Iroha Flower Member also give defense and damage cut, bunch of other stuff. Moving on though. Like I said, she has a whole bunch of attack. Her defense and HP is bad. It's just bad. She dies so goddamn fast. Might be because she's 13. Now, looking at her outfit, you might think that she's either a stripper or an adult or something like that, but they wouldn't draw a 13-year-old with this little clothing. But it's gone. It's gone. He just does that. This entire video is gonna be me talking shit about Gun's outfits, but you know what? You know what? If this was not about magical girls fighting to the death, and if this was like an edgy anime, I would be fine with these outfits. But Gun, you should drop for different genres. Anyway, moving on with the connect, damage up and critical hit. It's fine. If you're playing a team with only attackers, like let's say you have a bunch of blast characters in there, damage and crit on blast characters is totally fine. It's totally fine. Crit is good on characters that want to have they want to be hitting really hard with attack discs, like blasters, for example. Usually I say crit isn't that great as a connect, because oftentimes, for some reason, they're on characters that fit into Magia lineups. Magia lineups don't care about crit, guys. But the thing is, even though she is an Excel Gorilla, she does want to hit hard with discs, and she wants to have other people on her team that she can hit hard with discs with. So giving critical hit to someone else on their team, like let's say for example you play with Judy, who just released, that would be really awesome to have some crit on there to hit really hard. But overall the connect is just okay, because it doesn't have much flexibility to it. It's pretty much just hit a bit hard with discs, but it doesn't do anything else. Moving on with the Magia, we have Camellia Flame, which she has taken over from Tsubaki, kind of to some degree, but it's very different now, very different. It burns all enemies for 3 turns. That's really good. Once again, burn is a level 2 status ailment. You kind of want to have that for increased damage if the enemy is forest type. But more importantly, it gives crit to self. Only 40%, but we're gonna swap right over to the doppel, where we're gonna see that it actually gives 100% if you use it on the doppel, and you definitely are going to use the doppel for this. Now here's the thing. You can kind of tell that her doppel doesn't really give any buffs. Like, it gives the crit, but it doesn't give attack up, doesn't give damage up. It doesn't debuff the enemy with like defense down or something. It just burns the enemy and gives you crit. Why is that important? Well, so you can hit harder with discs, right? The only reason her doppel exists is so that you can hit harder with discs. You want your Excel disc to hit for like 200,000 damage on a crit? Guess what? Your doppel makes that even more likely. Even more damage, even more crit, burns the enemy awesome for even more damage. Yeah, it's all about just doing more damage with your discs. And that is why Suzune is a very weird type of character, where a rather unique type of character, where she is all about using Excel discs, but she's not using the Excel discs to get to Magia, to use a great Magia. No, she wants to get Excel discs to use her doppel to use more Excel discs. She wants to use the Magia to use more Excel discs and do more damage. Maybe even get an like ACB combo in there to get like a blaster with a lot of damage. That's kind of what Suzune is all about hitting hard with this. Now, we look at the Spirit Enhancement, get crit in here, which is really good. More Magia damage, so Magia actually does hit at least a little bit hard. Magias can't crit, which is sad, because if they would, this would do so goddamn much damage. But even without that, with the Magia damage up in here, at least the Magia will hit decently hard. We've got the anti-Magia seal, it's only 55% chance, but yeah, good enough. We've got the burn for two turns, which is really good, because similarly, as I said to other characters, if it lasts for 2 turns on a level 2 Stellar's ailment, you can have it randomly apply on one turn, which you can't react to, but then on the next turn, you know the enemy has it, and then you can plan for it. Next up, we also have evade, because every attacker needs to have evade and crit, and then you got blast damage up, okay, excel picking up, good. And more importantly though, she gets attack up at max HP, which makes her hit even harder. And since she has so goddamn much attack, the 20% attack up is gonna be very important. And then her active is even more crit and damage cut. So yeah, she wants to get a lot of discs, have other people connect to her, she wants to be at full HP, and then hit really hard to like excel this for 200,000 damage, like an ACB combo where the final blast is does like 350,000 damage or whatever with a crit and ignore damage cut. She really wants that, and that is what she wants to do. Now, if we worry about how good is it actually, how good is she actually? She's pretty good. Here's the interesting bit. Because she's an attacker that isn't focused on blast or charge, but is instead focused on excel, you can slot her into a Magia team. Even though she herself isn't about using her Magia that specifically, you can still slot her into a Magia team, because the Excel discs, if you get an Excel combo, help the other characters. She can connect her Excel discs onto other characters and try to help other characters get to Magia that way. So yeah, she still helps out a Magia team, even though she's an attacker, and that makes her very special. So with that in mind, she's really goddamn good. She's actually really good. She has a lot of attack, she hits really hard, she crits really hard, she helps out Magia teams, she has a decent double for at least dealing damage herself. For any other reason, no, her Magia and double don't help the team really that much at all, but it helps herself quite a bit, I guess. So yeah, overall, Suzune, it's decent. If you want to have more bang for your buck on a Magia team, I think it's pretty fine. Now, since I talked so much about Suzune, we're going to talk a little bit about Chisato, and only a little bit, a very little bit about Arisa, because there's not too much to talk about Arisa. So Chisato very recently, today, got her uncap, and she's a support type with not that great stats. Her stats aren't that amazing, but yeah, they're at least way better enough that she's on 5-star than she was on 4-star. We're going to talk very quickly about her personal. Who cares about personal? She has 2 blast discs, 2 charge discs, 1 excel disc. Keep that in mind, it's gonna be important. If you look down here, we see her connect. It gives attack up, skill seal, and charge attack damage up. Skill seal, not that important, especially not when it's only 55% chance to apply. And if you're trying to apply this to multiple people, some of those are not going to get applied, right? It's not going to apply to everyone if you're trying to hit this on multiple people, which kind of sucks. And charge attack damage up 30%. It's not quite as much as you would like to have, and it kind of tells you already that you probably want to play her on a charge team. We'll see how well that does. She does have 2 charge discs, so maybe. We get to her Magia, which has chance to bind, and now new on 5-star. Removes plus from all enemies. That is at least something niche that she can do that she couldn't do before. So before, just with the chance to bind, this was one of the worst Magia in the entire game, because just a chance to bind some enemies, not good enough. That itself is not good enough at all. But now with the removed buffs, hey, you at least have something else you can do on some quests, like some 100 evils where the enemy buffs themselves really hard, which you can use her as a very specific tech pick. Awesome. Her doppel, why does the chance to bind not go up by more? Come on, guys. Removes buffs from all enemies still, and MP restore. Hey, look at that. That's really good. You can use more MP Magia and double with that. That seems quite alright. Also, welcome to the stream, Lion Bernardus. So it also seems like her doppel kind of wants you to use more Magia and more doppel, but it doesn't actually do that much. her Spirit Enhancement probably will decide what she actually is gonna, well, like what sort of team she actually fits in. Like, we're still looking for a team to fit her into. We have charge damage up twice, total of 20%. We have chance of bind on attack, chance of darkness on attack. Wait a second, 2 of those effects, but neither of them last for 2 turns. It's interesting, I like that. I like that there's multiple, but it doesn't seem that powerful. We have damage card to survive a bit longer, okay. MP gain up and MP gain up. And what is that? 20% start? MP gauge increased? At mag level 5, that's 30 MP. You're gonna start at 30 MP if you have mag level 5 on the battle. What? That's really good for dungeon events. But outside of that, it almost looks like the game wants you to get to Magia, right? You have 10% morale adapt. Also, you have 50% skill weak, who cares? It's okay, it's okay. You have 12.5% excel MP gain up. You start the battle with 30 MP. You are gonna get to Doppel and keep spamming Doppel and Magia with MP restore, right? 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 No, she has 1 excel disc. She's a support type, which gets 120% MP bonus. More than most other types. She has 10% MP on top of that. Most other support types don't even get that. This is a very special thing to get MP gain up on top of that. And on top of that, 12.5% MP gain up, and she's up with 30 MP. Makes it sound like she's gonna try and get to Magia really fast. She's 1 excel disc. What is her active? Her active has attack down to all enemies, 20% for 3 turns. It's alright. It's alright. It's like a 3-turn half meter rain. It's decent. It's decent. But that's a skill seal. It's not that great. It's only it's a rather small chance for only 1 turn. It's not that great. It's just too small of a chance. So if we take all this into consideration, now here's the question. What do you play her on your team for? Do you play her on a charge team? She does have 2 charge discs and gives charge attack up and has 20% charge damage up. But here's the thing. The charge damage up, not that important because her attack isn't that great. She's not going to hit that hard, even with the 20% charge damage up. Okay, but she gives charged attack damage up, right? Would you play her as a support on a charge team? No, you wouldn't. You would absolutely not do that ever. Why? She doesn't have charge combo charge count up. Every single good charge character has charge combo charge count up. She has 0 of that. Why would you play her on a charge team? Why would you play her on a charge team? She has nothing. The only thing she gives is 30% charge attack damage up. You're gonna play a character that you have to roll for and get to level 5 and 5-star and everything for 30% charge attack damage up? No, you wouldn't do that. So she doesn't fit into a charge team. Does she want to blast? With that attack and no other good bonuses? No. Would you want to play her on an Excel team, on a Magia team, to get to like the Doppel with the MP restore and these bonuses like right here? Would you want to do that? No, you wouldn't do that either. What team do you play her on? I honestly don't know. If you guys know which team you would play her on, tell me in the comments below, because I just don't know what team you play her on. It actually almost seems like, here's the thing, the lore behind this character is she's kind of like a stripper. Like, she strips for people because apparently she has, why is she like that? Anyway, she's kind of like a police person, right? She's the police. So she would like disable people. She would like keep people in check, right? You can see it in her active, which is called disarm, right? Unarm, yeah, disarm. Here you have enforcement. She has a Doppel of justice. She's all about being the police. But her disables are terrible. She has around 50% chance to skill seal on characters. Not good enough. Skill seal herself isn't that amazing. It's decent, it's alright. Then her active does try to skill seal, but 37.5% is so little. Darkness and bind are both alright effects, but 15% chance on a hit. No, not good enough. Remove buffs, this is decent. Remove buffs is actually decent. You know what? Remove buffs is actually alright. Remove buffs is alright. But then you have a chance to bind, 55% chance. She tries to do so many different ailments at a low percentage chance. It's not good enough. Focus on a thing. You know what? Chiharu is also kind of like a police person. She's a detective more so. She has 100% chance to bind. And 100% chance to stun, I think she has. That's how you disable people. That's how you play the police. Not just like, oh, like a 50% chance to bind, maybe, like a 50% chance to skill seal, maybe, 50% chance to bind on Magia, maybe. It's too little. Too little of too many different things. Focus on one thing, Chisato. This is maybe the most angry I've been at a character before, and you guys are probably noticing how angry I'm being at this character. Because it just seems so wild that she has so many different things, and is good at none of them. But I guess if the enemy has some buffs that you want to remove, I guess you can use it for remove buffs. Moving on, we have Arisa, who is very similar in the same regard. She has the same discs. Similarly, not that great stats. She's a welfare, by the way. Keep in mind, she's a welfare. You get her from the event shop. You can pick her up right now. When the like Suzune 3 has her in the event shop. You can pick her up right now. Her personal is all about increasing her attack and defense, and you'll see her personal connect is all about increasing attack and defense. Her magia is all about increasing attack and defense. Her doppel is all about increasing attack and defense, all on herself. She's a very egotistical person, all about me, 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 me. Very much makes sense with her lore, with her character. She gives herself crit as well, so she wants to buff herself up to hit really hard, and it's all about attack and defense. What about her spirit enhancement? Damage up, damage increase, charges damage up, blast MP gain up. It's only 2. It does basically nothing. The blast MP gain up, it's too little. It's way too little. But she gets a bunch of charges damage up, charge attack damage up. So it seems like she could fit into a charge team with this much charge up, right? This much charged stuff, put in a charge team. But she also doesn't have charge combat, charge count up. So you wouldn't play her on a charge team at all, because she doesn't have those bonuses, and you need those bonuses. You definitely need those bonuses. So, what do you do with her? You wouldn't play her as a damage dealer on a charge team, because she... I mean, I guess you could. You could play her as a damage dealer on a charge team, like someone who uses up the charge discs to hit really hard with blast. You could do that, but even for that, she's not good enough. So the question becomes, where do you play Arisa? And I think what I would say is, since she is a welfare character that you can just pick up, get to 5-star very easily, get to 4-star very easily, for basically nothing, for just playing the game as a free-to-play, as a welfare. Yeah, I guess if you are just starting the game, if you have a very fresh account, you don't have a whole lot of anything, you don't have the characters to play a full-on charge team, you don't have the characters to play a full-on Excel team or a full-on blast team. You just can't make any of these setups work, and you just have a setup of like random characters. As a random character, you can probably just throw Arisa in there. She does well for herself. She can fend well for herself. She can give herself a bunch of attack up with her Magia, even though she only has one Excel disc and nothing else to boost her MP gain up. But she hits decently well with all of these charges damage up and just a straight up damage increase 10%. So she can hit rather hard with some charge discs for a welfare character, and her blasts are going to be somewhat alright with the blast up from here. So as a random wildcard character on a team without any specific strategy, I guess she will do alright. So if you have a fresh account, she will be alright. She's a decent character for a fresh team that doesn't have any specific meaning to it. But if you have a specific strategy like Excel, like Blast, like Charge, like anything specific that you want to play, she doesn't fit into any of those. Yeah. So I hope you guys hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, and I'll see you guys next time.